Wrong.
All right. Call roll, please.
Jacobson.
Here.
Lockman. Sari.
Here.
Jaden. Elizabeth Weltner.
Here.
Charlie Weltner.
Present.
And we also have Cody Spangler here with the school board for the equalization meeting.
He is acknowledged. We're going to declare us into an equalization meeting.
Move that we go into Board of Equalization.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Phil, would you like to address the council, please?
Good evening, everyone. I guess I'm mainly here for what might be a couple simple questions that have some underlying questions. The first one would maybe just simply be why. When I look at, I think everybody knows me, but if not, I'm Philip Swardine. I have rental properties here in town under the name of Rainmaker Rentals. And seeing the tax assessments that have come through, I actually was here last year but didn't get the form filed in time or not. So here again, as I look back on the, in the last few years, specifically going back to the last 4 years, the trend is what concerns me. If you were to Google, as I did, and as I've, as kind of conventional wisdom, residential real estate in America appreciates at approximately 5% a year. If you Google it, you'd see it's like 4.2 something. But let's say 5% a year. However, across the board, although they vary slightly, across the board, in the last 4 years, these properties have appreciated at 83% total. Some as high as 99% and some as low as 57%. But my question is and hence the concern of the accuracy of the tax assessment, if you will. And maybe accuracy isn't the right word, but appropriateness maybe. Why the discrepancy between a historical figure and such a large discrepancy. My other point of reference, and again, maybe not all that relevant, but have other rental properties in other communities, and that same in McCook County, for example, that appreciation rate over those 4 years is approximately 5%.
Total or totally?
Total over the 4 years total. The other example I have is Turner County, and that one is closer to 40%, but again over 40 years. So this being double those numbers, again, I guess my question is why. And that's the 83% is valuation, but the actual property tax itself, the dollar amount in these situations come out to a total of just under 50%, 49.22% increase in those 4 years. So a 50% increase seems like a lot. And I guess, if it was just me, I just think that maybe the point of reference that I bring to the table, if there's others that maybe are scratching their heads and wondering, when they see their bill, is this, how does that fall in line? And maybe people are different. I guess that would raise another concern, but I think this must be, I'm not the only one in these shoes. So that being a concern is why I'm here. Why these jumps in appreciation.
Were there improvements done to these
Yeah, I
properties?
appreciate you asking that because, no material changes, no renovations, no additions.
Okay.
We've been fortunate to have long-term tenants, so actually, it's surprising how long they stay, and so usually improvements, updates, or anything would be done in between tenants typically, and in all these cases, no.
Has any assessor came to talk to you or visited these properties to look at them?
Over the years, yes, there's
Over
been,
the past 4 years ago?
No.
Okay.
No. But yeah, I'm aware that roughly every 5 years they try and do a community update on values. But year by year, and I guess I do you know, this actual last year was more in the range of, and I'm ballparking, but around 10% increases. Other years were 30. I mean, to get to there were some significant jumps in previous years. So, yeah, I mean, the other thing I'd mention is, you know, there were none of these properties were special purchases, not family related, or you know, other advantages that might mean some kind of a catch up or something like that. And so again, you know, I know real estate increases. I know inflation. I mean, again, if you look at an inflation rate, which I Googled, I mean, you know, we hear about it in the news all the time, but. But in the past 4 years, I mean, it's been as low as 2% and as high as 8%, and there's a couple 4s in there. So, you know, I guess, you know, when I look at, and I know with compounding this, you know, I'm ballparking again, but I mean, with a 20% increase per year, the other thing would be is, and I'm not trying to, well, I guess I am maybe presupposing the question, but, you know, these aren't flips. They're
rentals.
They're rentals, and they're long-term rentals. You know, Lord willing, I hope to have these properties, you know, another 20 years. So, you know, when I look at the current pacing and trend, that, you know, that's alarming. Mm-hmm. When does it stop?
Right, because your expense goes up, so then you have to pass that on, and that makes it tough for everybody.
And, you know, I'm glad you mentioned that, too, because, you know, we're trying to provide affordable housing,
right,
but,
right.
You know, for people who are familiar with what they call, excuse me, you mind if I grab my water?
Yeah.
For people that are familiar with what they call Tax Freedom Day, when you actually get to the point in the year where you've paid your income taxes and now you can start keeping the money for yourself, they call that Tax Freedom Day. You might have heard of it before. You know, that's currently in mid-April. Well, if I add on the property taxes for these properties, that's just around 2 months. So now I'm in mid-June, and then if you add insurance, you know, you're now at the end of July, and that's not including any interest or repairs or those kind of expenses. So, you know, when a community looks at, which is often a typical challenge to have housing for its employees, et cetera, you know, people that want to move here. You know, it's, I guess even if I look in the mirror, who wants to work for 7 months before you put $1 in your pocket? So, you know, not here to throw stones, just looking at the numbers and going and, you know, kind of scratching my head.
You know, and I think I've asked this every time at these meetings, equalization meetings. What can we do?
Nothing.
I'd love to help you.
But here's how, if you're asking the question. I guess, and the reason that school board representative is here, and I don't know why the state makes us do it the way we do it. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I know we're going to have an equalization meeting, the only thing we control are, I look at what are taxes, what's a mill levy, mm-hmm. and that's what he's, you know, and you have to start here with an equalization meeting, and the only thing we control is the mill levy, the school, the city. We have nothing to do with the county and so forth. And that's how we can affect the equalization, the numbers he's talking about, we really don't have a say on. Uh-huh. And I'm sure we all agree, I get the same notice you do. I mean,
right.
Yeah, they've gone up a lot.
Yep. And
I think what I read was from 19 to 24, it's been South Dakota residences as on the average is 45%. And you know, why, I don't know why. So how we have to handle this, talking to the county, mm-hmm. is we're going to have to deny each one. And then Phil's going to have to go by April 15th.
April 1st.
Excuse me?
April 1st.
April 1st.
April 1st.
I'm sorry. April 1st. And talk to them and say, why did you evaluate my property at this? What, you know?
Yeah.
So who does he talk to?
And I'm aware of that, Michael.
And
I understand the process, but that's why I'm here, because, you know, if
And that-
I
and you have to
don't, if I
start
don't
in
start the
someplace.
process,
You have to
nothing,
start
nothing will
someplace.
ever happen, and nothing still may happen, but it's,
Yeah.
you know, those who remain silent, there's,
It's, and I appreciate that. I mean, it's,
Because you're right, yeah, I mean, you're not alone.
yeah, I mean.
Because the other
Appreciate you
question,
coming.
you know, if I may, you know, I said there's a couple of questions. One is why, and the other one is where? Where does this extra 50% go? Who's demand, you know, who's needing that for our local services, infrastructure, schools, et cetera? Who's, you know, where is this going that it's causing that kind of impact?
Well, I'm just glad, was in going through this and so forth, I'm just glad to see taxes not went down a little bit. It would have been even worse if the mill levy had gone up on you.
Right.
I mean, that'd
Right.
be multipliers, so. So that's the process, is you're probably well,
Right.
and it's foolish, so,
So this is the start of the process, and now we.
and then, right.
But by April 1st, you have to notify the county auditor,
Yeah.
So you know,
just so you know.
Yeah.
you've got,
Do you have to do this
I
case by
mean,
case scenario?
We have to do this in.
Well, you know, I mean,
So if I have complaints, I have to go
depending on,
Well, it's too late now.
from past experience, I mean, counties, or excuse me, the cities sometimes will make a recommendation that they're, or, I mean, you could also say you're done. You could say, we disagree with your comments and this ends here. That's within your purview.
With whose? With Tony's or yours?
Mine.
Yeah.
You could shut me down right now.
No, because if we
Well, I have
deny
been
you,
in the past,
Phil?
and I don't just mean last
but
year.
we deny you and then you get to go to the county. There's no, we can't completely shut it down. If we deny you, the next step is the county.
So that raises a question, are you denying me?
I don't know, it's up to them.
Well,
We call, and
We have
Well,
to-
there's a difference. There's a difference between being denied and being said, hey, we understand your concern and we recommend that this be looked at. That's the difference than a
Tony
denial.
told me that it needs to be denied by the city for it to go on to the county.
Well, you also have the
So-
ability to approve.
so understand,
Right.
Phil, if what you're saying is I can set your,
valuation, there's no way I'm gonna do that. Because the next meeting, I'm gonna have 594
yeah.
people in this room saying, do the same for me. Because I do not know what they used,
what formulation, I mean, we have nothing to do with that. And so, yeah, I'd love to do it for you, but next year at equalization, the whole city's gonna be in here saying, do the same for me, and I'll be the first one in line.
As a counselor,
So we deny it, you go to the auditor, you go to Tony, and say, I want an explanation why you think my property is raised compared to what else is going on in town and so forth. I don't think you're being equitable. That's how you do that. And then the grant would come from them. You know, that's how that.
I hear you. That hasn't been my previous experience with other communities. If they don't, I mean, they can outright deny you and you're done, or they can say, we recommend that this be looked at by the assessor, which is a very different.
yeah, and I
Part of this.
understand that. I don't know what, you know, and I apologize for not knowing the exact procedure to go through it, but, you know, I agree with you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, this isn't.
Just my own educational standpoint, I thought Governor Roden today signed legislation capping property tax hikes to 3%. Like, I think he just signed it today.
That's not impacted until then.
July.
Literally, I was eating dinner
Yeah,
before I
yeah.
came here, and
But it's only
Governor
July.
Roden
This
signed
is
it
over
today.
the past, the pound of years, and I can tell you that.
Well, mine's quadrupled since I bought the house.
Yeah.
I
Plus.
told Tony he could buy my house for what he has at assessment because it doesn't even appraise for that.
But we're not going to get the money back. But in essence, with his legislation, essentially stopped this
It'll-
gratuitous.
Yeah, because, and I appreciate your
What's that?
work that you've
Yeah.
done here, so it's out in front of us, because that's alarming. I agree with
Well,
you.
like I say, I mean, it'd be one thing to just say, you know, get the tax bill and grin and bear it, but I just, you know, hearing your comments, I mean, I know I'm not alone, and I think there's and the other thing, which I already mentioned, not to repeat myself, but I'm not experiencing this same situation in other counties. So, I don't think you can say, well, it's everybody. It's clearly not.
Just kind of a follow-up on that. In other counties, is your tax assessed value much closer to what you would put it on the market for?
So to your property value or ad valorem that is part of, well, county assessor's process is very different than market value. I mean, you used to be able to use an assessment ratio. I mean, going years back, we used to look at, if we were going to value a property, you would look at even though you knew it wasn't spot on, you would look at the assessment, and we used to use an 80% number. I hope that's no longer relevant, because meaning if the property is assessed at 80,000, it might be, the market value might be 100,000. I don't think that ratio is accurate anymore. But the reason I go down that path is market value becomes very subjective. I don't think assessment value is really a very strongly correlated to market value. Now, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they all fall on the same night, but it'd be great if Tony was here.
Yes, they're going to look at what's been sold around you.
But whoever made the point of I'd sell it for that amount. I mean, there's some that are, over the years, I've seen some are above and some are below. And there's really not a rhyme or reason. And in those other counties, and that's why I hesitate to answer that, because some of those properties are above and some are below. So it's not an easy answer.
Yeah, I just was going on my personal experience was that tax assessed value was always sort of laughably below what market value was in other situations that I thought that was kind of their goal, was to bring them closer, but so I wasn't sure.
And that,
how
I
far
think,
off
is the
they were
purpose of those
being,
5-year assessments, to actually look, closer than use some across the board 10% increase and those kind of things, which happen from time to time. But no, and I understand. And again, not here to throw stones. I know it's not a perfect world, but whatever your recommendation is, I mean, I would like to be able to go to the next level. I mean, I hope you don't dismiss me completely.
And that's what we're going to do right now.
Okay.
We're going to deny all 6 of these, and then you take them up to, is it the auditor? And I'm sure she's going to sit down with Tony Dewald with you and ask him for an explanation of why this is the way it is.
Well, that's what we have to do to help him to go to the next step, because he was saying denying is a strong word, which it does sound that.
I don't know why they use that word either.
That's what we have to do to help.
That's what the word from county said. This is why we have to do it, to push it on to the next one.
Are we essentially saying we're not changing the little piece
You
of
can say,
taxes
instead
that
of
we're gonna do?
deny, you can say,
Yeah.
we're moving not to change as
I don't care what
Whatever
you
it
call
is, so
it.
you can.
We're trying to
My other
get you where you belong.
Well, and that's what I'm asking for, because I know this is a step. I mean, I know nobody's here as a county assessor or auditor. I mean, I understand
and
that.
that's why I called him today, because I wanted to make sure we did it correctly, and that's what he told me to do.
And so that was the word they used, to make a motion to deny each piece separately, and then Phil can go up
To the auditor before April 1st and file your claim, take the paperwork and say, and basically what you're going to do,
So,
No, I know.
you're going to sit down with them, say, hey, I want to know. And at least that's what I would do.
so there's 6
What metric
properties.
did you come up with for your proposed assessment value?
How did I come up with that?
Yeah.
5 to 6% increase annually.
Yeah.
Going back, I mean, I didn't go back further. I just went back to the payable in 21 number.
I just seen a house.
Yep, no,
that's
fair
listed
question.
For $37,000.
Yep.
I think you sell that tomorrow if you wanted it for $38,000 for a livable home in Freeman, South Dakota. The one sold that for 40 plus that had flood damage and no working furnace or hot water heater and looked like dogs had lived in it. So
Yeah.
I don't disagree with the tax sentiment. 100%, I think they're outrageous with the rates, but I feel like their assessment values are probably pretty accurate for what the house is valued.
Well, like I say, on an individual, I mean, I have a property that I purchased 9 years ago, and it's now at a 500% increase. At some point, when does that not look? I mean,
So,
I don't mind a medal for being the greatest real estate investor in the world, but I don't think it's really accurate. I mean, I really think there's some room for discussion, and again,
I totally agree with you, Phil.
and at the end of the day, that's why I'm not trying to sit here about, I didn't put new
understand.
carpet in. I mean, those kind of comments. At the end of the day, a 50% increase in out-of-pocket taxes makes it hard to be in the rental business, and makes it hard to provide housing. And again, the follow-up question is, where's, if the answer is, that's a hard, that's the way it is, answer, then what is the way it is? Where's this money going?
So can one motion be made for 6 properties?
We gotta do each one individually, we'll do that.
Okay.
So, okay, Phil, we're gonna go
Yeah,
do that and get
I've
that.
been heard. I appreciate it.
But I don't mean to cut you off
Nope,
or anything. The good news is, you're worth more.
Right.
Bad news is you're gonna pay taxes on it too.
Yeah, house rich, they call that, right?
Okay, I'm gonna look for a motion for a property, on,
I just want to, so.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
We'll say the address, we'll say what the assessed value is and what he's requesting it to be.
well, you can do that.
I can do that, wonderful. Okay, 208 South Poplar Street. The assessed value is 60,000, or the assessed value that was given was 60,280. Philip is requesting it be changed to 37,887.
Make a motion to deny.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
All right, the next property is 320 North D-Wall. The assessed value came in at $56,550. Philip's asking it to be changed to $43,050.
Motion to deny.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Someone else can make a motion, guys.
You're doing
That way she doesn't have to write different names down.
The next one is, there's two addresses on this property, 505 and 509 East North County Road. So there's 2 houses on this property. The assessed value is $118,620. Philip's request is $77,287.
Motion to deny.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
That's the one by me there, isn't it?
The next property is 626 South Walnut Street. Assessed value is $72,920. Philip is asking it to be changed to $57,850.
Motion to deny.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
733 South D-Wall. Assessed value is $85,090. Philip is asking it to be $53,762.
Motion to deny.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
And the final property is at 904 East 6th Street. The assessed value came in at $82,600. Philip is asking for $55,237.
Motion to deny.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Appreciate your time.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Thanks, Phil, for coming down.
Thank you very much.
You have better luck than I do.
I appreciate you putting it together like that, too. That was nice to see like that.
All right?
Declare us out.
I declare us out.
Who seconded?
You don't-
And declare.
That's all you need.
Yep.
You want to do,
And we're going to reconvene as the,
you want to go minutes first, or?
whatever you want to do. We're just going to reconvene as the.
Okay. Let's get that out of the way. Minutes of the last meeting,
Move to accept.
Second.
all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Vouchers.
Public input, you want to do public input, or is that?
Second. Thank you, Cody.
you.
Spring concert to get to.
Jacobson?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Elizabeth Waltner? Yes. Charlie Waltner?
Yes.
Okay, I think Dan's here from DPS. Hello. If you'd like to come up and, I think you've got something you'd like to say to us.
Yeah, hello, my name's Dan Hyman. I'm working part of the new business out there, Dakota Protein Solutions outside of town. Thank you for letting me come in. Attended the economic development meeting a week ago, and it's nice to see everything going on in the community, especially when we see the pretty sizable business in Yankton that just closed 2 days ago. We want to be part of the community, and I was just kind of looking at it. We've got, I think, maybe 5 people that are in rentals or houses here in town, and a couple people that already were part of Freeman that are working out with us, and then I think probably 4 or 5 that come in from Yankton, Vermillion, different areas. So it's kind of where we're at. We're doing pretty good volume, and that's probably the main reason I'm here is I want to take any questions off the record or whenever, or just express that the main concern that I know of is staying on top of the odor and those kind of things. So especially as the spring weather comes and winds change this way or that way, maybe the easterly winds are more common. We're working to be on top of it. So what we're doing right now is continuing on our duct work and piping, and we'll probably end up changing our chemical companies, because that's who we rely on, is our chemical companies that treat our air scrubber equipment. That's what it all comes down to, in managing the pH levels. So we've had a company out actually last week, and I meant to bring one in, but they're really kind of a neat little test. So it's a glass vial, and you can take an air sample right in our equipment. So that's how we're going to manage things, and that's how we know whether it's the levels or where they're supposed to be or not. So that the goal is to be, for us, we can see those numbers and not have to wait for phone calls that say you better check it out. And so that's our goal. That's kind of where we're headed, working from them. The guys that were here just this last week, they're out of Sioux Falls, and they'd be willing to come to a council meeting too and kind of explain chemicals that they use and how all that works too, because that's kind of over my head, some of it. My role is just to make sure they do their job and our equipment is working, and kind of keep the council in the loop too, and the county commissioners and anyone else. But that's kind of the update where I'm from. But at any time or after meeting, or if you had anything now even, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I do have a question regarding, I don't think it's taken place yet, but it will be, you have that lagoon where the water,
You have that pond out back.
Yep. And from my understanding, you're going to be pumping that into irrigation. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay. So does that have an odor, or is that treated? I understand it's low pressure irrigation. It's just a mist, from my understanding. It's not.
Yeah, and the farmers that are familiar with the center pivot irrigation, sometimes you have the spouts up on top of the pipe that are high pressure and they're spraying it.
Right.
These will be on drops that hang down more in the canopy. It won't completely be in the canopy if the corn's not 6 feet tall. But yeah, they'll just kind of be on a drop hanging lower, so that'll help minimize it. But it's really not supposed to have much odor. There's another product out there, just kind of like anybody that has a manure lagoon for livestock. If you've got the right enzymes and things, that conditions out there, it's healthy and it manages it. So.
And that's something that'll be stayed on top of, and.
Yeah, it's actually the same guys that are working at the scrubbers they also took samples of that water, so they can see if there's what chemicals are in that water, and that's how we'll be able to track it.
Yeah, no, I've been out there. I've seen it work, and it's absolutely incredible what you're doing.
Well, I mean, and that's everything. I mean, it's just tied to agriculture and the farmers and ranchers. It's 150, 200 mile radius. I think that the materials are coming in, and the liquid that's leaving here, the liquid fat, now it's going to renewable energy. That's going to refineries in Texas. I mean, the protein meal is going to Missouri and South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa, Minnesota, and Ohio.
I think it was last council meeting, I believe there was an update in our packet too, and some of the things that you've been doing. Because yes, we, when it smells, they let us know about it.
And it's never pleasant, but it's good for me to know about that. So I thank the people that have contacted me to let me know, because that's the only way I can get better.
So thank you for staying on top of it.
So
Really
that's
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I mean, I didn't ask Dan, I don't know if somebody
Yeah.
else, but just on his own volition, he came there, and I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna mention that too. So yeah, there's different people coming in, but even the University of South Dakota, they've got a coyote business program
Yeah.
there. So we've been talking to them for a couple months, and they're actually coming out the 2nd of April, and they're gonna do a site tour, and they've been doing some research and modeling different things, so they'll have some feedback for us as well.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. Phil?
So this, I'm a little, I was told to be here. We had after the little cold snap, after the cold snap, it wasn't that little, but anyway.
It froze.
Yeah, no, actually not. That's what's confusing is I went to check on the house. It's a vacant property being turned over, and went to check on the house after the freeze concern, and everything was fine. 5-6 days later, got notified by the city that, hey, the meter is going crazy. They said, and I mean, I didn't know what happened, but it was a toilet leak, although it wasn't, you typically think of a float that might not, shut the valve, but it was more than that. Something broke, and it was, it was flowing, and so I was told to come here.
Not into the basement.
No, it was going right down the drain, and
Yeah, so it wasn't flooding your basement.
no, so
That's good.
so all things considered, thankful, yes. I mean, when I was driving over there, I was much more prepared for something worse. But nonetheless, it went through a lot of water, and so, again, told to be here. I'm not sure. I know there's a sewer calculation. I'm not sure what else can be done, but any, any understanding, for however you do it is appreciated.
Treat that kind of like irrigating lawns, and
Well, so you can do a couple of things. You can, if you choose to, you can adjust the sewer bill, the sewer rate on this one if you want to, even though it did go down the sewer. And for sure, you're going to want to adjust for the average for the summer.
Right,
Because you
because
don't
we're
want to
raising that,
have to
right.
pay that high rate all summer long when we do the average. I mean, the water we had to pay for, so you really don't want to adjust the water part, but the sewer you could adjust if you chose to. And and there's a copy of the bill in your packets. So it was 25,000 gallons, so the water rate was 143.53, the sewer rate was 166.25. I believe it's empty, and it had been for like maybe a month before this.
Correct.
So really, the sewer would have been just an average, so $16 is what the sewer would have been if it wouldn't have been for that.
What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? We had one that's been, Terry, you were still on probably over here. We had, I don't remember my old age, I can't remember what we did. I know with the sewer is always a big concern. That's
Yeah,
ongoing, because
I mean,
that's
there's-
ongoing.
My feeling is like, oh, it'd be nice to, forgive that sewer, like change it, but, we are paying for chemicals to treat that. Do you have any idea of how much that would change anything, do we? Very minimally?
5 gallons in, what comes out there, a couple pennies here and there.
Yeah.
your normal bill is $65, and this one was $341? Is that what I'm reading here?
Yes, like the last month's bill was 65.
Yeah, that was noticeable for a vacant property.
So we'd use
We're looking through them.
that average for figuring his rate for next year.
For the summer, you mean for the summer,
Yeah.
yes,
Right, you need to
yes.
adjust that.
Because we usually stop
In
the adjustment.
after March.
Time because of watering lawns. And what I feel is what we've done, that we have given to people, we have made these adjustments for people who have watered their lawn in October, that have come in and asked for forgiveness to not have their sewer here, was a complete accident. To deny him the same thing that we've done for them would be foolish and unfair.
Agreed.
So,
So what is your motion?
I really don't know how to word it.
Charge for the water.
Charge for the water.
So do you want me to reduce the sewer rate
Reduce
for
sewer,
right.
for the February bill to 16? Is that what you're looking at? Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever we've done for those guys.
And then
You wanna
whatever
read
the
them all?
water would have to be
Bill.
billed.
Yeah, are you done? Read the motion on that.
No, I get it, I get
It
it.
is a little different than watering
Her
lawns, though,
verbiage.
because it didn't go through the sewer.
Right, right, it is. It
Or
is
Yeah.
we're talking minimal
Yeah.
amount.
That's
clear.
No, really, insult is injury too bad.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put reduce the sewer rate for February 2025 from $166.25 to $16 minimum. And then do you want to just put and use the minimum value, and use minimum for the,
The average.
Annual
for
calculation.
the average calculation. There you go.
February month.
Right.
Everybody clear on the motion?
Clear as mud.
Second?
Second.
It'll sound better in the minutes.
It will.
You'll wordsmith it out.
Sorry, seconded?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry. I thought you said Charlie.
Elizabeth Weltner?
Yes.
Charlie Weltner?
Yes.
Jacobson?
Yes.
Thank you all, appreciate it, have a
Do
good
you
night.
want us to
Myself.
send, do you want us to send you a new bill? Or I can
Just so I
email
know
it?
the number.
I can
I know
email
how
it to Donna.
Okay.
Will that work?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Terry, you want to talk,
You probably know.
The
So we
warranty
didn't-
or?
We didn't vote on the back side. There's the additional extended warranty options, and we didn't vote on that.
We've never taken the warranty before, have we?
Yeah, we have
Oh, we
with the
have.
chassis,
On the chassis.
chassis and the,
You know, whatever we've done in the past, is what, I know we had talked about it, but I just thought it was all part of it when we did the motion before, so we gotta talk. So just a 5-year, 100,000 mile engine after treatment, is that what you're talking about?
yeah, both of them comes up
Both of them.
4,000 or something.
Yeah.
Have we used that warranty in the past with them? Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
On pretty big items?
Yeah.
Get the motor out on it one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
That was
that's why we're
two
trying
price
to
back,
replace it
right?
every 7 years because we keep having problems.
Right, because
I
of the
guess
use
5
of this
years is a
thing.
good idea.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a stop and go, and it just,
Hard
So
miles.
that's my recommendation, is to
Yeah.
have an additional extended warranty. Since we procrastinated long enough and saved $42,000, I think we can afford it.
yep, I
It's
second that.
$3,907.
and that was a motion, right?
Yep, and I'll second that.
Blaine seconded it?
Elizabeth Weltner?
Yes.
Charlie Weltner?
Yes.
Jacobson?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Tractor lease, Dewey, you want to, or just somebody?
Dewey handed it to me, but you
Oh,
know
I'm
more
sorry,
about it than I do.
I didn't mean to.
No, that's fine.
It's the lease of that John Deere tractor that we do every year, and they went up from 3,500, then they'd give us 150 hours, now they're charging us $35 an hour for 150 hours on it, so it comes up to $5,250.
$50, yeah.
Yeah. That's still a reasonable
Very.
price for what we have for a tractor, which is,
How many hours you usually put on it?
Right in that 80.
Okay, so you're always under it. Yeah.
One year was a little less because we didn't get it till June.
yeah, that was a,
And we don't pay for oil changes, we don't
Nope.
pay for anything.
They
That is
do all of
100% theirs.
We've had hoses break on them and they just come out
Just
and
take care
fix
of it.
it.
Okay. Yeah.
This comes out of what?
Streets.
Streets? parks?
Golf course.
Of course.
Usually streets.
Yeah,
Yeah, we use it all over streets,
streets,
parks.
parks, yeah.
Works
Yeah.
at the, when you're mowing.
Yeah,
So-
I'd make the motion to honor the rental agreement for $5,250 for the lease of the tractor.
Second.
I don't know what kind of tractor it is, but
John, you're,
I'm assuming it's green. Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, what size or?
Just a little, it's at 5,100 E,
Elizabeth.
it's about 5-6 horse bigger than what we had last year.
Cool.
One of the 51 horse.
Yeah.
Isn't the 5100, it's the 51 horse.
It's got all the hydraulics.
I was
for
gonna say, but the
back motors.
hydraulics are the right fit.
A little different, not dealing with Chevy. I used to deal with him all the time when I was retired.
Yeah.
Charlie Wiltner,
Okay,
Yes.
you can sit down now.
Jacobson,
For a while.
Sorry,
Yes.
Elizabeth Wiltner.
Yes.
Charlie has a travel request, but I thought I'd just have her come down and give us kind of an overview of what she's been doing and maybe give a little information about the last conference she attended and
Yeah.
her conversation with the governor.
So it was so much fun, you guys. I know, I was just like a little kid. So what I prepared for you was kind of a first quarter. It's obviously not, we're still in March, but you can see on there, there's a list of things that have been completed towards the first of the year here. Highlights would be the strategic planning through Dakota Resources with FCDC, and then, of course, the GOED Governor's Conference on Economic Development. That was the two-day conference that you allowed me to go out to in Pierre. We did get to meet the governor. That was completely unexpected. I think he's going to be very good for economic growth, economic development responsibly here in South Dakota. I don't know if you caught this, he's doing, I saw on social media, Rodents Roundup. He's kind of doing a reset and touring the state. I have put Freeman on the list. I don't know how they're deciding where to go and when to go, but I'm pretty excited about that. I'm hoping to keep in contact. I'd love for him to come here and see what we have to offer. In progress, there's quite a few projects going on. Up front here would be the Valley View Advertising Campaign Career Here, which is April 9th at the Freeman Public School. I have sent out emails, and we've kind of been talking about this on and off since fall. If you know business owners in the greater Freeman area that are, just talk to them, please. Ask them did they get an email, did they get a flyer, are they aware of it? The whole idea, this is aimed at youth retention, which was one of the main pillars on our strategic planning. So it's not a career fair, it is a hands-on career exploration. We want the students here in Freeman, being both academy and public school. We also have a homeschool population in the area, and I've reached out and invited them as well. And we just want the kids to know what we have here.
So if I just saw that, I was gone, but I saw it, they set it on my desk here, but if I'm interested in that, then I just let you know, and then you let the schools know?
We're working with the school. We're going to have some booths inside and outside.
Mm-hmm.
We do have, as for instance, JH Diesel is going to bring a tractor.
Mm-hmm.
So the kid's going to have some hands-on exploration there with the tractor, with some diesel mechanics. So I don't know exactly. I need to talk with them a little bit more, but.
So is it on site at the
school.
person's business? It's at the school?
It's at the school, yes.
So like myself, I would have to take something there for.
Bring it to the school.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Any car that you can have them fix up?
Sure.
I think some auto body something.
Yeah.
So we've
Not
also
easy.
got Lake Area Tech coming, and I'm also working with Mitchell Tech.
Okay.
With the idea of, there needs to be a little schooling, right?
Mm-hmm.
A little training. So they come, they talk to you, they listen to what you have to say, they're touching, so we're touching 3 of the senses, right? And then they get all interested in it. Now they can go over here and they can talk to the representative from Lake Area who has the program that's going to support that.
Okay.
And hopefully that comes full circle and you're hiring that kid.
Right. Yeah. No. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good idea.
Working on the Experience Freeman Guide. I think we're wrapping that up, the advertising for that. And the next thing that's coming up is an affordable housing, Freeman Solutions. We've got an upcoming roundtable. It's not announced yet. I'm still working on getting people together. Jensen Build, out of Mitchell, has been very successful in places like Gregory, White Lake, Chamberlain. So I'd like to bring him in and just have him talk to some of the key stakeholders, business owners. It's just exploratory in the beginning, like as business owners, what are you seeing? So it's just more of a roundtable in the beginning. And then to tie it all in with the travel request, the Governor's Office of Economic Development invites all of the new EDs, Economic Development Coordinators, into Pier to meet all of the different departments and get to know each other, as well as all of the different departments at the Governor's Office. It's mostly a building relationships business.
Which is important.
Yeah.
And if we can get the governor to come down to see Freeman, that's a plus.
Wouldn't that be awesome? I'd love this career here to build up and to where one of our keynote speakers is the governor one year, or maybe it's Mike Rowe.
So how much is how much are you asking for the?
Zero. I received a grant from the governor's office.
So we have to approve zero? That's a tough one.
You have to approve zero.
You have to approve to pay her for her
It's her time.
I understand. I get it. Okay.
Sounds great. Well, that's an easy choice.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
You're going out on the limb, aren't you?
I'll second that one.
Charlie, you're my FCDC representative. What is your recommendation?
My recommendation is she goes.
That's a motion.
I have a motion
She's
and
got a
a
motion in
second
a second.
already.
She's ready to roll, right?
Do it slow. Just keep her rolling.
I gotta have some fun, and I've got.
Do you?
Elizabeth seconded.
There was something that I mentioned last meeting, I think Charlie was going to look into it, the signs coming into Freeman on the south side and on the north side need to get redone.
Yes.
Yeah, so-
Yes, we are actually exploring something. Have you been through Hartford or seen what Hartford?
Oh, yeah.
A nice,
Yeah.
beautiful, well-lit structure that's not going to fade out.
Welcoming.
Very welcoming,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to,
Yes,
Bring that to
thank
your
you.
attention.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yep, no
Were there any questions? I know there's a lot of, and I'm a bullet point girl.
I appreciate you coming in and going through it. That it looks like you've done a lot, and if you don't do this, we don't know, so
Anything
so
to
thank you.
keep track of.
And I know in the beginning I was getting you one every month, and then January rolled around and it got postponed, and February got postponed, so,
No,
This is fine.
yeah.
Yeah, no, this is great.
Yeah, and if you ever have any questions, just call or email.
I do have a question. Do you have any idea where the Beta Bus situation is at? Like their building?
On hold.
Okay.
Yeah, federal
I
funding
suppose
issue.
they're not sure if they're gonna get.
I talked to him, or when I say talk, I meant emailed, middle of last week, and it's just on hold at the moment.
Okay.
I know we were so
Well,
close.
The wheels of government. The wheels of government.
Anything else for Shelley?
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right,
Thanks for
thank
coming,
you.
Billy.
Thanks, Shelley.
You're welcome.
Terry, you got anything else you'd like to add?
Nope.
Mr. Waltner?
Not offhand right now.
Ms. Waltner?
No.
Mr. Sari?
Just a couple things. Talked with Barron, and he had talked to Kenny, and Kenny's doing well. He is the
He's in school.
table, in the school, up in Pier there, yep. He is the table leader, so I guess in the group, they'll pick a leader, and then that leader goes to the big leader, and, but he got chose as the leader, so I thought that was good. I talked with Barron. It's going to be getting to be that time of the year for looking for potholes and things that need to be fixed. So what he was going to do is when he does his driving around, he'll mark mark potholes, and he mentioned just all of 7th Street. Must be bad, but anyway, so he's gonna be marking them, and then I'll get a hold of the guys there, and they'll take care of it. Did get a thank you from a citizen regarding the efforts we're putting towards the flooding situation. So that is something that has been well received, just the fact that we're looking into it. And it's just, and I mentioned that, this is a couple years out, this is
Slow
not
process.
it's a slow process, but it is a process that is being taken, and they were extremely pleased about that, So I thought that was worth mentioning, and I think that's what I got.
Actually, I remembered something.
I remembered something.
You need to start with
talk enough.
Blaine always talks enough. That'll trigger everybody's memory. This is just the street light on Cedar Street by the city lot there. I think that went out last year when the flooding happened, and I haven't looked recently to see if it's on again.
By the city building?
No, I mean, it was where that shed was taken down, kind of across.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Is it our street or is it an actual street light?
That's probably ours. They're going around right now putting all LED lights
Right.
on all of them.
Okay.
They got a crew in town going around.
If there's a poll number on it,
Yep.
call into the office and we will call into Northwestern.
Okay.
That's the one by Mrs. Kleinsaucer.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Dewey, you guys, anything?
You want it angled so it goes in your house?
Glad to have you back,
Yep.
pretty much.
I got a hold of that Brad Lawrence that was doing our sewer lining. Talked to her, they were gonna come start looking at some of our camera our lines for the slip lining. That has not went out to bids yet, because they were waiting for 2 communities to get their footage up. And he's hoping that comes here at the end of March here. And they lost 2 communities, Madison and Winter, because they lost a finance officer. And they're hard to get the budget. Would have got them up higher with their footage. But he's pretty confident where he's at that they should get what they were hoping.
Hoping to go for the bid.
I forgot all about it till last meeting. I seen something on her desk about the Bros Engineering. But he was sick for 2 months there and wasn't around, so. And the PLC that was broke last year at the lagoon, we're gonna fix that now. We're kinda waiting until we got in all our surge protections out there.
What is a PLC?
Controllers out there.
Is that the one that keeps burning out, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
the one lightning takes
Right,
out and
yeah.
then it shuts everything down.
Yearly and bi-yearly, we've been replacing it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
At least once a year.
Yeah.
Not every 2 years,
Okay.
twice a year.
Oh, I mean, yeah, twice a year.
Then we did that surge protecting through the main panel coming in and then all the outlets, and seemed to take our surges down real good,
Good.
from 10 a day down to a 0.3. And Vermeer's out screening all our compost, gonna clean up our lot for us. And we got a 1 call to clean up this lot yet. So it's good news that they're kind of a little bit behind on it.
Gives us, and the weather's
Yeah, the weather's perfect.
really good.
Alleys. It looks like he hit them once, but
Between 3rd and 4th, especially.
That's a tough one.
I drove them today. They're not, they've been worse. And I know we're supposed to get moisture tonight. I don't know when, but
If we get a little rain, it'll be perfect to blade them.
I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm just,
Yeah.
it's time. I know
I'm
they were
guessing the
froze.
frost
It was-
isn't quite out in the alleys yet.
Frost is gone.
Most places should be pretty well. And the one place out the lagoon, or the golf course, they said it wasn't out.
Yeah, I mean, it's down a ways, but every time it rains, it gets mushy on top.
For some
Need a
reason.
good packing rain.
And the golf course is open now, right, for food?
The Fringe, the restaurant,
Yep,
the
that's right,
clubhouse
the
is
Fringe.
open today.
Today.
Yeah.
It opened today.
Yeah.
I don't know that the golf course, as far as the outside, has,
It was the food that I wanted.
that's all you care about?
The rumbling sound I heard.
Right.
I thought you signed up for lessons this year, I'll say.
Well,
No?
you never know. You'll never know.
I see Tatanka opened up,
We have an
is opening up the
extra
third.
cylinder for that forklift at the recycling plant. Can we get one? Because if
Yeah.
they run out on a Saturday, they're done.
Oh, for
For the-
propane?
Yeah, propane cylinder for that.
Yeah.
If you can find one to get for there. That way, if they run out on Saturday, they can always have a full one there to replace it and keep going.
We never had a spare?
Must not. I was informed, so.
Yeah, no, they should have a spare, because then they don't have to drop what they're doing, they can just change it and go, and then pick it up later.
That was my one thing.
Lisa, you're good?
They did check these garage doors out. We did get them. And they said this one was pretty good. The recycling one probably needs to get changed, and they're gonna give us a bid on it.
Oh, the main one going in?
Nope, the one for the
Cardboard.
drive-in.
Yeah, the main one going in, I mean, not the main building, but the, right.
Said the one that we put in there isn't.
Heavy duty enough for that. No, a little scared
He
of
said
that.
these out here were very good garage doors, the oldest ones he's seen in quite a
But
long time. and
he got
very
these
good.
fixed, right?
All right, anything else? If not, next meeting's April 1st. We need to go into exec for personnel.
Move we go in executive session pursuant South Dakota Codified Law 125-2, parentheses 1, personnel.
Second.
Thank you, guys.
Favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye.